Welcome back to Mac Talk Sports, and we are back after the international break, and it is match day 10 in La Liga. The pace has already been set. You can already see, one half of the league has already been played. So you already sort of know the teams that are challenging for the title, the teams are vying for those European places, and the teams in the relegation places. The battle is going on, and now after the return of the international break, we are going to see some exciting games. So let's go ahead and make predictions. The first game is Alaves versus Valladolid. It is 13th versus 19th. Both of these teams are not really in a good form. Alaves, out of their last 5 games, they have lost 4 of them, and they have won once. Valladolid, on the other hand, they have lost 4 and drawn just 1. So the form is not really good. Alaves, just before going to the international break, they lost against Real Madrid at 3-0 at home. Valladolid, they also lost against Vallecano at home. That was a very big loss for Valladolid, considering that Rayo Vallecano are like one of the teams that are very close in that relegation battle. So it was sort of a 6 pointer for both of them, and Valladolid lost that game as well. Alaves, they have won 3 games, and they are at home, and they would hope that they can get something out of this game. This is like one of those games where they need to win to keep themselves away from that relegation battle. They are at the moment, they are 5 points ahead of Valladolid. They are not really that far away from that pack down the middle in that relegation battle, so they would want to get away from that. And Valladolid, on the other hand, they know how important this game is. Another, they lost to Vallecano, but they know this one is another important game. So if they can get that win, they can get out of that relegation places and get close to Alaves themselves in that 13-14 place. I think it is going to be a tight game. I think both teams are gonna go for it. I go for that win, but I think none of them are gonna win. I'm going for a draw in this game. I think it is going to be a low scoring 1-all draw between Alaves and Valladolid. The next game is Athletic Club versus Espanyol. It is 6th versus 14th. Athletic Club, they were on a great run in the last 5 games. They won 3 in a row, then they drew. But just before the international break, they lost against Girona. I think that was sort of a surprising defeat with the way that Athletic were playing. So they would want to rectify that just coming after that international break. They are playing against an Espanyol side who have won twice in their last 5 games, but they got an important a victory just before the international break, so their spirits would be a lot better as compared to Athletic Club. I think it will be another close game, but Athletic Club being at home, and the form that they are in, and they are 6, they are not that far away from the teams above them, so they would want to get back into that Champions League places, and that is why I think it is going to be a home win. I think it is going to be a comfortable win for them. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Athletic Club. The next game is Osasuna versus Real Betis. It is a 5th versus a 10th. Now both of these teams are like my dark horses to somehow get into those European qualification places, either in the Conference League or the Europa League. I think both of them have the score to really go ahead and do it. Osasuna at the moment are faring better. They are 5th in the league. Their performances have been really good. They drew their in the last 5 games. They've lost just once. They've won twice. They've drawn twice. They drew against Getafe just before the international break, a game that I personally think they should have won, so they would be a bit disappointed, but they are not they are undefeated in their last 4 games, and they would hope to carry it forward. They are playing against a Betis side who have played 9 games. They won 3 times, they have lost 3, and they have drawn 3, and their last game was against Sevilla, and I really thought that they were going to win that game, but they lost that game 1-0, and they were down to 10 men as well. But Betis are a sort of a side you cannot really you cannot really count out in any situation with the score that they have. I think it is going to be a very close game, and I think it is going to be another draw in this game. But if I will not be surprised if any of those sides goes ahead and gets the win. I think it will be a 1-1 draw between Osasuna and Betis, but either side could go ahead and win this game 2-1. But I'm going to stick with a 1-all draw. The next game is Girona versus Real Sociedad. It is 11th versus 15th. Both of these teams have not really performed to their potential. Girona and they sort of have sort of a same form coming into this game. They have both lost 2 of their last 5 games. They've both drawn 2 of their last 5 games, and they've just had 1 victory in their last 5 games. So that their confidence is not that high. But the thing is, they both are undefeated in their last 3 games, and both would want to carry this on forward. Girona, as I said, they won last weekend, just before the international break, and then Sociedad they drew against Atletico Madrid. So both of them have a sort of a good confidence coming into this game. And the thing is, I would have it is going to be a close game, and I think it is going to be another draw. I just don't see either of them getting the win. This is like the third draw that I have made in this prediction, but I just think it is going to be another draw. If there is one team that wins it, I think it is going to be Sociedad. They are sort of turning a corner and trying to come back into trying to get into the upper half of the table, because nobody really expected Sociedad to be at 15th after nine games. So they know it is not looking good, but I think this game is going to be another draw, and I think it is going to be a high scoring draw. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Girona and Real Sociedad. The next game is a Celta Vigo versus a Real Madrid. And now Celta Vigo, if you have been following my channel, you would know that they have become one of my favorite teams in La Liga, because how exciting their games are. Whether they win or they lose, it doesn't matter. Their games are already always filled with excitement. There are goals. There is something in the games regarding Celta Vigo, and they are playing against Real Madrid, who know how important this game is. They are just 3 points behind behind Barcelona, and next week is El Clasico, so they know how important this game is. They would want to keep the pressure on on Barcelona, sorry, as much as possible. They are also one of the only two teams that are still undefeated in the league, along with Atletico Madrid. So it is going to be a very important game. I would have, the way that Real have sort of come back after the early start of the season, I would be tempted to go with Real, but it is after an international break. They are going away, and there are still some a bit of concerns regarding their setup. And Celta Vigo are that sort of a team, especially this season, where you cannot really expect what they are gonna give you, and that is why I think Real Madrid are gonna draw points this weekend. I think it will be another high scoring draw. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Celta Vigo and Real Madrid. Moving on to the next game, it is Mallorca versus Rayo Vallecano, 7th versus 8th. Now both of these teams are exceeding expectations at the moment. Nobody really expected both of them to be here after 9 games, and the way they are playing, like they really deserve it. Like both of them have been really good, and I think this game is going to be another a great adventure for both of them. They know Mallorca at number 7, they are out of those European places just based on a goal difference, and so Vallecano, they are just 1 point behind. So they know how important this game is. Any one of those teams who win the game could easily end up in those European places come the end of the weekend. So that's how exciting this game is. Both of them come into the game in a good form as well, so I'm expecting a close game. And the thing is, it is really hard for me to pick a winner out of these two, but just because it is a home game, Mallorca are going to be at their home, and they are coming back after the international break. I think the teams who are going to be the away teams after the international break, they are going to have a much tougher time as compared to the teams who are at home, and that is why I think I'm going to edge it towards Mallorca. I'm going for a 2-1 win for the home side. The next game is Atletico Madrid versus Leganes. It is a 3rd versus a 17th. Both of these teams have played 3 draws out of their last 5 games, but Atleti have won 2 of the remaining games, while Leganes have lost the other 2. Both of these teams drew just before the international break. Atleti drew against Sociedad, whereas Leganes drew against Valencia. And will start with Atleti. I think they were very lucky in that game against Sociedad, that they just drew. How they did not lose that game is beyond me. I have been very honest with you that Atleti are not playing to the potential that they have, and I think this is a very tough season for Diego Simeone. The fans have backed him for a lot of time, but there have been protests, and there have been trends about him to leave the club from last season. Then they spent a big amount of money in the summer, but the performances are not there this season as well, and I think this is a big opportunity for him to get those 3 points, especially if my prediction goes wrong. There's a big chance that they close the gap on their local rivals in Real Madrid, and especially they are playing against a Leganes side. They are 17th. There is no hope at the moment. Last 5 games they're just not able to win a game, and I think it is gonna continue. I think it should be a comfortable win for Atletico Madrid, even though they are not in a good form at the moment. I would still say they are gonna win it, and I'm going for a comfortable win as well. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Atletico Madrid. The next game is Villarreal versus Getafe. It is 4th versus 16th. Villarreal have been really good. They are one of the most exciting teams of La Liga this season. The way they play, it is so beautiful to watch as a football fan, as a neutral. So it is always very exciting. They lost their last game against Real Madrid just before the international break. It was a very convincing win for Real Madrid, and I expected that to be going away at Santiago Bernabeu. It was always gonna be tough, and Villarreal would want to come back from that, forget about that result and start new. They are in a really good form, and that is why they are 4th in the table. They are playing against a Getafe side who are doing not that good. They are 16th in the table. They are not really able to win a game at the moment. I think they've just won once in their last 5 games, so it is a good chance for Villarreal. And the thing is, Getafe are a side that are very hard to break down. They are known for that, and Villarreal are a side that love to play attacking football, love to score goals. So I think it is going to be a really interesting game. But I think but Villarreal being the home side, I think it is they are going to be able to win that game. It might end up being a close game, but I think Villarreal are going to edge it. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Villarreal. The next game is Barcelona versus Sevilla. It is 1st versus 12th. And now Barcelona have been really good. I think they have been the best team of La Liga this season. Their performances are really good. They lost a couple of weeks just before the international break, and then they won just before the international break. They came back to winning ways to make sure that they go into the international break as the #1 team in the league. They are coming back after the international break, and they would hope to continue their win. And of course, as I said, this is a very important weekend for Real Madrid and Barcelona both, because the next week is El Clasico, and they both would want to make sure, Barcelona especially would want to make sure that they don't go into the El Clasico with the lead being at 1 point. Like, it is a 3-point lead at the moment for them, and if they don't win it is, and Real Madrid win the game, it will be a 1-point lead between them. And if, let's say, Barcelona lose, they could in like 7 days they could lose their top spot to Real Madrid. So they know how important this game is. They are playing against a Sevilla side who started the season very slow. The performances were not good and the results were not coming, but they have had a good couple of weeks. They have won 3 games out of their last 4 games. They are undefeated in their last 4 games as well, so they are towards an upward trajectory. But I think it is going to be too much for them in this game, and I think Barcelona are gonna win it quite convincingly. I am going for a 2-0 win for Barcelona. In the last game of the weekend for match day 10 is a huge one. It is Valencia versus Las Palmas. It is 18th versus 20th. Now, how important this game is, everybody knows. It is the battle of the relegation team. Valencia, they would want to get those 3 points. They are the home team. They drew last weekend, just before the international break, and they would hope that that can give them sort of momentum to get those 3 points, because they really needed. They are 18. If they get that win, and they can somehow climb away from the other 2 teams in that relegation battle, even though I don't think they are gonna get out of the relegation places this weekend, but if they get that win, it is going to be a huge one. They are playing against a Las Palmas side who are still winless, 9 games into the season, and they have still not been able to win a single game. That's how bad they are, and they themselves know how big this game is, and it is like the perfect opportunity for them to get that first win playing against a Valencia side who themselves are struggling. And I think it will be a very close game. It is going to be a hard fought game, but I just don't think Las Palmas are gonna be able to get that win that they need. I think they are gonna be a winless for another weekend. I think Valencia are gonna get the win, and I think it will be a very close game. But I think just because they are at home, and as I said before, it is after the international break, the away side, they are always in trouble. That is why I'm going for a very close a 1-0 win for a close and a huge win for Valencia. And with that, my predictions for match day 10 are done. We will see how many of them are correct and how many of them are wrong, and we'll see how many points I have made. 3 points if my or the entire prediction is correct, 2 points if the prediction is correct but the score is not correct. We will see how many points I get at the end of the weekend when I do the review show. You guys can go ahead and play with me, make your predictions in the comment section below, and we'll see who made the better prediction. And let me know, do you guys agree with my predictions or not? Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 400 subscribers before the month of October, and so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel grow. Until next time, bye bye.